Alright, let's see what happens here. There we go. We got into the game. We can super sim it. We can go fast and jump to the end of the game. Alright, so we got a 27-9 game. The Lions score, and that is about it. Game-O-Rama. Game, set, match. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to exit out of that. Okay, so I'm just looking at chat here. Let's see. Marcus Mariota, 19 of 23, 82%, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Norman Vick, 68%, 206, no touchdowns, no picks today. Le'Veon Bell, 57 yards before he was injured. Carlos Carr, 43 yards and a touchdown. Nile Davis, 27 and a score. Norman Vick, 21 and a score on the ground. O.J. Howard, 86 and a score. The other score coming from Marquise Wilson. Blocking, a lot of pancakes, as always happens in the sim games. And then a couple sacks given up by the Lions. There they are, Harrison and Beasley. No interceptions on the day. Forced fumble by Matt Milano. Recovered by LaFegged, and I guess Jesse also recovering stuff. Week 11? That depends. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to say yes or no yet. I do have to get to bed, though, eventually. We haven't decided a Week 11 game yet, so I don't really know. Let's force advance. Week 10 doubleheader is over. It's over. I'm probably going to say no to Week 11, but let's see. We are supposed to do Vikings-Texans because we have not done a Vikings game, I believe. And we're also supposed to do Jets-Titans because we have not done. So you know what? We'll just make that another doubleheader. Yep, we got to do Jets-Titans and we got to do Vikings-Texans. Those are games we have to do. Can we just watch a different Vikings game? I mean, we could talk about it. We got Vikings-Panthers, Vikings-Packers, Vikings-Bears, Vikings-Lions, Vikings-Falcons, Vikings-Giants. And you gotta watch something. So, we could talk about it in Discord. I'm gonna give it a couple days, though. Let's go look at the look at the week. All right, week number 10, Philadelphia over the Giants, 31-10. Dusto with the 2 touchdowns, no picks. Bradford with the pick. 116 yards for Joe Mixon, 58 for McCaffrey. Ashlyn Boyd with 41 and a touch. Let's see, receiving, Dolan with a score. Demaryius Thomas and Russell McCoon, the rookie tight end. Ronnie Staley. Okay, so there we go. There's your sacks, interceptions. Nick Kwiatkowski had a great game. All right, Tennessee, a 31-7 win over Cincinnati. Winston had a bad game, but Zach Abbott had a worse game. Bars with his 2 TDs. Flowers had a TD. Touchdown for Jordan Matthews in the air. Not a lot of offense in this game. A lot of sacks, though. And a lot of picks in this game. Seattle 30-22 over Minnesota. Big first half got that done. 27-14 lead at halftime. Sean Klutz had to get in the game for Tannehill. Tannehill, no touchdowns, no picks, but look at Sean Klutz. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jacob Shelf, 1 and 2. Touchdowns for both of those running backs. 133 and a touchdown for Anunwa. Cobb had a TD. Michael Thomas had a TD. 3 sacks given up by the Seattle O-line. Interceptions, 2 for Adrian Amos. What's up, Richard? Okay, Indianapolis over Chicago, 31-24. Vincent Powell, touchdown, no interceptions. Mahomes, no touchdowns and a pick. Jimmy G, 2 and 1. Ender says we watched Vikings-Packers already. I don't believe we did. I don't believe we did. If you look at the schedule, it's not on there. Never had a plan to watch Vikings-Packers early in the season. We watched Colts-Packers. That's what we watched. Colts-Packers. Colts-Packers was the Week 1 game. It was the first game we watched, I believe. Alright, Jordan Howard, though. Can we talk about this guy? Look at this. 209 and a touchdown. Yo, you got a cam? Quite clearly. Yes, I do. Bryson Mitchell, 71 yards. Marlon Mack scores a TD. Clay with a touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders with a touchdown. Jordan Reed with a touchdown. Bunch of sacks given up. Yeah, but the Bears, we've already watched them once, and we have to watch them against the Jags, unless we're going to watch a different Jags game, too. I mean, you guys want to flip around the whole schedule, that's fine, but... Peters and Blair Brown. We got to watch the shitty Jags eventually, so... we got to figure it out. Okay, and then the Dolphins, 34-14 over the Chiefs. Ow. Fucking hurting over here. Okay. Brett Ferdinand, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Mason McCormick, 1 touchdown, 3 picks in the game. Amir Abdullah with 85 yards, a touchdown for Clement and Jones in the game. Receiving, 122 for Martin Griffin, 97 and a touchdown for Wilson. Randy Storm had 78 yards. A touchdown for Sellers, who's come up with a couple touchdowns so far in the year for Kansas City. Sacks, Foster and Quadwo with sacks in the game. 2 interceptions for Xavier Howard, 1 for Keanu Neal. Okay, San Francisco 28-10 over Dallas. Russell Wilson, 1 touchdown, no picks. Simon Houston, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 115 and a touchdown for Derrick Henry. 60 and 2 scores for Robert Kelly. 52 and a touchdown for Wayne Gallman. Receiving, not much done here. Just a touchdown for Tyler Eifert. There's not really much to report there. Sack given up by both teams. A sack gotten by both teams. And 3 picks right here. That is pretty much what did the Cowboys in this game. Washington, we watched them beat Detroit 27-16. Pittsburgh 41-18. A 21-0 first quarter for Pittsburgh. Storm Davis, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Kyle Sloter, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Kenny Dixon had 79. Aiden Whitford with 77 and a touchdown. Storm Davis also ran for a TD. Keenan Allen, 68 and a score. Melvin Gordon, 63 and a score. Treadwell with a score. Jesse James with a score. 1 sack given up by both teams, including Waddle over there for the Steelers. I didn't know they had a Waddle as well. Interceptions by Kendricks and Gilmore, and Malcolm Butler for the Browns. Oakland 38-24 over the Broncos. Pretty much effectively kind of ending the Broncos season. I don't know that they're going to come back from this. 4 touchdowns, no picks for Matt Ryan. 2 and 1 for Deshaun Kaiser. 69 and a touchdown for Clark. 56 and a touchdown for Doug Martin. Alshon Jeffrey, 123 and a score. Devontae Parker, 111 and a score. Sterling Shepard had 106. Chris Godwin had 65 and a score. Scores by Morris Ward, Raphael Jennings, and Bryant Dahl for the Raiders. 1 sack given up by each team. 1 sack gotten by each team, and a pick by Ken Crawley. Ravens over the Bills, 38-6. That third quarter really got it done. A 28-point second half. Derek Carr, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Cam Newton, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jimmy Morris, 60 yards and a touchdown. Receiving-wise, John Brown, 127 and a score. A score by Jorge Sanchez and Jimmy Morris. Sacks given up. The Bills gave up 4 of them. Ravens gave up 2 of them. Here's the sacks right here. Parham Crow with another 2 sacks. He is going to keep himself on the list. Wagner and Verrett with picks in this one. And we move on down. Tampa Bay 21-17 over the Rams. Both teams with 14 points in the fourth. Tyrod Taylor, 2 touchdowns, no interception. To answer Lagos' question from before, Blake Bortles now plays for the Rams, as well as Kirk Cousins. Jalen Richard, 83 yards. Le'Veon Crawford had 2 scores. Ty Montgomery had a score. Receiving, Troy Daniels, 142, 2 touchdowns. Clayton Timms had 100 yards. Marvin Jones had 75 yards. No other scores. 1 sack given up, and it was by the Buccaneers. But the Buccaneers would get their own sack on a blitz. No interceptions on the day. Okay, Atlanta over Green Bay, 24-21. Picking up a dub here. Jared Goff, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dak Prescott, no touchdowns and an interception. Look at Devontae Freeman, 161, 2 scores. Paul Perkins, 89, 2 scores. McCoy added a score for Atlanta. Tyreek Hill had 83 yards. Fernald had 49 and a touchdown. Wasn't enough for Green Bay. A sack given up by each. Hyuk is always on that list, giving up sacks. And interception by Blake Martinez and Markel Lee. Okay, and the Jets, 49-21, doubling up the Arizona Cardinals. Brett Newton, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Carson Wentz, 1 touchdown, no picks. Leonard Fournette, 169, 2 scores. Another 2 scores over here for Levi Brock. Brett Newton had 2 runs for 80 yards and a score. He had a 76-yard touchdown run in this game. So the running game for the Jets getting it done once again. Mike Evans, 76 and a score. Cameron Mitchell, 72 and a score. J.K. Way had a score in this one. Willie Snead, Eric Ebron as well. Sacks given up, 2 for the Cardinals, 1 for the Jets. And it held true. Interceptions, none for either team. And then, of course, we did watch the Saints take down the Carolina Panthers 27-23. Okay. Now a look at the standings. Let's see how we're doing here with the standings. In the AFC North, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers sitting at 8-1. We have the Cleveland Browns at 5-4. Ravens are 4-5, and the Bengals are 4-5 as well. In the AFC South, the Texans are 9-0. Titans are 6-3. Jaguars and Colts both sit at 2-7. Jets 9-0 in the East. The Antlers 5-4. The Dolphins 4-5, and the Bills sit 3-6. And in the AFC West, the Raiders atop at 6-3. Chargers at 5-4, Broncos 3-6, and Chiefs 2-7. In the NFC North, we got 5-4 for the Lions. The Bears 3-6, the Vikings 3-6, and the Packers 2-7. In the South, both the Saints and Panthers sit at 6-3. Saints take control of the division for now. Buccaneers at 4-5, and the Falcons at 3-6. And in the East, we've got a crapshoot. The Eagles sit at 5-4. Giants and Redskins both at 4-5, and the Cowboys at 3-6. So that brings us to the NFC West, where the Cardinals and the 49ers are both 6-3. That's a dogfight. You have the Rams at 5-4, and the Seahawks at 2-7. Okay, so right now in the AFC, that would mean the Jets would be the 1 seed at 9-0. The Texans would be the 2 seed at 9-0. The Steelers would hit the 3 seed. The Raiders would get the 4 seed. The Titans and the Browns would make the playoffs as wild card teams. In the NFC, we would have the Saints as the number 1 seed. The Cardinals as the number 2 seed. The Lions would be the number 3 seed. And the Eagles as the 4 seed. That would bring into play the Panthers and the Niners as wild card teams. Alright, so that is interesting. Charles Spurlock. Great comeback game by Ryan Breeze. Lance, by the way. What's up, Lance? Alright, we'll take a quick look at the statistics. And just who's winning every award, really. Ethan Arizona still in the lead in the NFL in yardage. Tyler Wan, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Norman Vick, Jimmy G on the top there. Let's look at the touchdowns. Ethan Arizona still leading, 25-11. Rodgers 24-11. Tyler Wan 22-9. Those are definitely your leaders for MVP. Okay, Leonard Fournette over 1,000 yards. He's over 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. He is definitely having a great season. Jordan Howard is having an amazing year as well with a great average. Everyone else is doing a good job here, but those two guys clearly leading the way. Receiving yardage. Joshua Potts in the lead right there. Parker's doing well. Will Fuller's doing well. Aguilar's doing pretty well. Brian Wilson has the most TDs receiving in the league. Kevin Vance has a lot of touchdowns for a rookie. Good draft choice for the Titans. They also have the man that gave up the most sacks so far this year. Stephen Hook. He's given up a lot of sacks, but he's there. Okay, tackle leaders right here. Yeah, we're going to check injuries, RSP. 14.5 sacks for DeMarcus Lawrence. Look at Parham Crowe. He's third in the NFL. It's about time that man has lived up to his expectations. Can I check Tyrod stats? They probably suck. You really want to look at them? Sorry, it's been a while, FG, but I've been working the night shift, but I decided to hop on and watch, tonight. Cool, Richard. It's good to have you back. Keep an eye out, Richard. I'm going to be starting some things over on Twitch. A streamed NCAA series. I know you probably miss NCAA. And a video Madden series that will be going hand in hand on Twitch. The series that are here on YouTube will be staying, but if you want to go follow me over on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/franchiseguy, all one word, all lowercase letters, and Syracuse will be in the running as a team I could do it with. So you'll want to look out also on Twitter. My Twitter is below, the little blue bar. Because I might put a poll out there. I might be putting a poll out there. Okay. Punting. But thank you for stopping by, man. Miss you around the channel. You're a good dude. Looking at some punting. Kick returns. 2 for Braxton, 2 for Jorge Sanchez. Wow. Jesse got himself a kick return TD. Anybody with punt returns, though? Wow, Abdullah got his 3rd punt return touchdown. He is doing well. I'll take a look at your man Tyrod stats. Let's look at them. There they are. 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's the opposite of Matt Villa, so I guess you got to stick with Tyrod. As much as you probably wouldn't want to. All right, let's take a look at the weekly award for the week number 10. Brett Newton, Xavier Howard, Devontae Freeman, and Blake Martinez get the weekly awards. Let's look at the NFL. All right, we're just going to go quickly who's winning the awards. Ethan Arizona for MVP. Coach of the Year still Caleb Nugent. Leonard Fournette, Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Aiden Whitford, Rookie of the Year. Fisher Poindexter, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Aaron Rodgers for Best QB. Lenny Fournette for Best Running Back. Joshua Potts, Receiver. Zach Martin, O-Line. Myles Garrett, D-Line. Michael Kendricks, Linebacker. DB Eric Berry. And kicker Craig Carden. Interesting. For the NFC, Ethan Arizona for Offensive Player. Defensive Players Denzel Perryman. Offensive Rookies Tyler Wan. Defensive Rookie Scott McCoy. Quarterback Ethan Arizona. Running Back David Johnson. DeAndre Hopkins for Receiver. O-Line DeCastro. D-Line DeMarcus Lawrence. Linebacker Levante David. DB Laris Dutka. Kicker Justin Tucker. Okay. And we will look at the injuries for you guys. Then I'll be in Discord for just a little tiny bit before I go to bed. Alright, looking at the injuries. Bears. Losing DeMarcus Lawrence for 5 weeks is terrible. That's probably going to make him lose best D lineman for the NFC. Bengals have a lot of injuries. Bills have a few injuries. Broncos have no injuries. Browns lost Kareem Hunt. That hurts. Bucks have no injuries. Chiefs just Bruce Ellington for a little bit. Tyvon Branch off the Colts for 6 weeks. Mewhort off the Cowboys for 7 weeks. Mikael Hunt's got 1 week left. Sherrill will be out for pretty much the whole year. Joe Haig, the only Eagle injury of the year so far. 3 weeks he'll be out for. Falcons, no Jarrell Freeman, no Latavius Murray. CJ Lucas off the Giants for 6 weeks. Jags and Jets, no injuries. They haven't really had any all year. Gurley, 2 more weeks until the Lions get him back. Treader, 1 more week till they get him. No injuries for the Packers. Look at the Panther injuries. Jaquiski Tart, 1 more week. Zach Brown, 5 weeks. 7 for Ingram and 6 for Michael Pierce. That's a lot of injuries for the Panthers. Calvin Benjamin's out for 2 weeks for the Raiders. Tariq Cohen, 1 more week for the Ravens. Redskins, R.J. McPhee, 3 more weeks. J.J. Watt, 7. Eric Flowers, you should be glad he's hurt. No injuries for the Saints. Shazier for 6. Dalvin Cook for 5. Julio Jones done for the year pretty much. Geno Atkins 1 more week. Steelers lost Bouye. Dominic Easley for 4 weeks. 1 more week for Deshaun Watson. Texans 4 more weeks for Brian Barnett. And 10 more weeks for Tucker Weber. So they've lost a lot of tight ends and their quarterback. Tevin Coleman 2 more weeks for the Titans. And Mark Trueblood 1 more week for the Vikings. So that's that. So that is that. That is that. Again, guys, thank you for coming out to the stream. This was pretty successful. Good little double header. I'd like to kind of do a double header for each stream if we could going forward. 2 games a stream for the hour and a half. I think we could have gotten through it in an hour and a half if Madden didn't fuck us over. I went through all the kickers, Lance. I mean, I don't know what you want here. You really want to look at kicker stats? Why are you going to cut him and not have a kicker midseason? I mean, 11 of 13, 84%. All right, but thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Again, if you haven't followed me over on Twitch, please do that, because we're going to be starting 2 exclusive series over there. So if you want to be a part of them, you should probably go over there. Again, it's twitch.tv/franchiseguy, all one word, all lowercase, franchise guy. Can the doubleheader be a game for 1 week and for another? Yes, as long as we're looking at stats and awards at the end of both weeks. But appreciate you guys coming out to the stream. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe if you've been lurking and been thinking about it. It's a pretty cool place to be. Sometimes it gets a little crazy, but we always come back together in the end. Again, I'll probably be on Discord for like maybe at least 20 minutes before I go to sleep. But thank you guys. I got some work I gotta get going, and hopefully the new schedule will work for everybody. Appreciate you guys. Later.